I receive lots of questions about drop shot leader length. Today you will see side by side what's actually going on in several situations. The two lengths we are testing today are a 30-inch leader and a 12-inch leader. After seeing these results, you can adjust according to your situation and how you like to fish. Drop shot rigs, of course, can be used for vertical fishing when you are trying to catch those suspended bass, and drop shots also excel at what I call horizontal fishing. In other words, where you cast them out at a distance and reel or drag them back in. Well, let's start with a suspended fish situation where the weight is likely not on the bottom. I'm starting here because this is where we will see the leader length make the least amount of difference. First is the lure sitting as still as I can possibly hold the rod. Our natural arm movements, even when trying to hold still, add nice action to the lure. Now next is one of my favorites, a rod tap. I literally tap the side of the rod with my index finger. Once again, leader length basically has no impact here. This is a gentle rod lift. Now you may ask how far. I'm literally just lifting the rod tip a few inches. All of the action is in my wrist. And last for our vertical fishing for a suspended bass is a rod pop. Once again, you can see the two lures essentially behave the same. Now here is where we will see the first real difference that leader length makes. When we are fishing with the weight on the bottom, not suspended, leader length can make a difference. This situation would also usually be fishing vertically for fish holding near the bottom, and we're probably parked right over them. The short leader looks great, but look at what happens with the long leader. We can easily impart a gliding action to the lure by just lowering the rod tip or a gentle sinking action. There is enough slack in the leader, the lure behaves completely differently than the short leader. Now the short one doesn't have the distance from the bottom and the slack needed for the lure to glide or sink gently when the rod tip is lowered. Of course, how far off the bottom the bass are sitting makes a difference in which leader you would choose, as well as bottom composition. When you have some vegetation, the longer leader is nice. And here is the last situation we need to watch and keep in mind. This would be representative of casting the drop shot out a long way and reeling or dragging it back. The extreme angle of the line makes the actual lure placement off the bottom something we may not always think about. Take a look at the difference between the long leader and the short leader. The longer one allows us as anglers to let that bait glide much higher off the bottom. The shorter leader keeps the lure obviously a lot closer to the bottom at such an angle. For anglers that have lakes with a rock bottom composition, this one works great. If your lake bed has lots of junk and vegetation, the longer leader is probably the better option on most days. And hey, if you would like to watch a video that shows the differences in Carolina rig leader length, go ahead and check this one out right here, and make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.